Hello, this is Mohammed Siddiq from Real Estate Income Magazine with another session of a hangout with a very special guest. Whether you are a real estate investor, rookie, or pro, we all know we need a direct access to the buyers and sellers. We don't need a middleman. And I always think how to cut a middleman. Finally, we got the solution today. We have our guest how to cut a middleman and maximize your profits. Do I have your attention now?
Hey, my friend, how we doing?
Yeah, good. Glad to meet you. Thank you so much. My guest today is Stephan Piscano. Stephan, did I pronounce your name right?
It gets butchered about 40 times a day, so as long as it starts with an S, I usually answer to it. Stephan Piscano, but yeah, so you got it right.
Okay, Stephan Piscano, thank you. Plus, forgive me about my accent, and plus,
Oh, no worries, no worries. I'm happy to be here. Really appreciate you having us on.
Oh, no, thank you so much for coming. It's really a pleasure, and the gentleman again, his name is Stephan Piscano. Piscano is the founder and CEO of ListedBy.com, a global online real estate marketplace which provides listing and auctions. This is like a social media network for real estate investors. Is that right, Stephan?
Yeah, we're an online real estate marketplace and social network with live bidding auction functionality. So the easiest way to describe it in a nutshell is we're like eBay, but tailored for real estate. And then we also have the social network component, which we tailored similarly to LinkedIn or Facebook and functionality. And then I also own the largest real estate related group on LinkedIn, which is the real estate networking group as well. So the two entities kind of play off each other to some extent.
Oh, thank you. Before you jump on that, what actually you do, what makes you uniquely qualified to speak on the future of real estate investing? I see when I saw the real estate ListedBy.com, that's almost like a future of real estate investing, how it should be.
Oh, well, I hope so. I appreciate you saying that. Yeah, that was definitely the idea, was to fundamentally take the real estate market into the digital era and bring the whole home buying process online. Just to answer your question specifically, my background, I've been in real estate investments for about 15 years. I've literally been buying investment properties since I was a teenager. So I kind of grew up in the industry and have done everything from subdividing acreage to small real estate developments to long-term income producing properties or short-term flips. From 2008 to 2011, I actually liquidated a few hundred properties on eBay of all places. And that was what gave me the idea to really harness that eBay functionality in a marketplace setting, but tailor it to the real estate sector, because I realized that while eBay was great because it was getting all this traffic, it just wasn't set up on the front end or the back end to give me what I needed to actually complete a transaction. So with ListedBy, we put a lot of emphasis on the social network component so that users can actually really integrate and, like you said, cut out the middleman and really have that direct connectivity between buyers and sellers, because on ListedBy you can actually submit an offer through the website, and then you're dealing with someone that has the functionality and the understanding on the other side to actually accept that offer and really engage in direct conversation. So I'm probably rambling a little bit, but that's kind of my background and probably a much wordier answer to your question than you anticipated.
No, that's great. And many people really want to know where you, and what was the moment when you really get into all this, by the way? What was that time?
Real estate in general?
When you started getting into all this, you saw the problem in eBay and then you started creating your own.
Yeah, I mean, well, I can tell you, it's kind of a neat story. Summer 2008, well, really, winter 2007, early 2008, I started seeing all these properties going on eBay in Detroit for $3,000, $4,000, $5,000, $6,000. And I said, wow, that's amazingly cheap. And I almost bought some myself, but I said, if they're buying them that cheap, they must be, or if they're selling them that cheap, they must be buying them even cheaper. So being in California, I set out to research the Detroit real estate market as much as I could. I cold called asset managers, real estate agents every day, woke up 5 a.m., 6 a.m., and really got a feel for the movers and shakers in that market. And then after a few months of research, I pulled the trigger on my first property, which was a duplex, for $600, and I sold it for $6,900 a few days later. So I said, wow, this is great. So then, like I said, we proceeded to buy in packs of 40, 50 at a time for usually $500 a door, and flip in that online setting. And what's neat about ListedBy is that as opposed to, you know, a lot of companies that come from guys sitting around a table saying, how do we make money? Listed By literally came from me complaining in my office to one of my partners on a regular basis that, you know, eBay wasn't tailored to real estate. The other sites out there like Realty Bid, you had to, you know, charge a commission on the front end and the back end, so there was no connectivity between the parties, so I couldn't get a deal done. And he finally said, well, if there's nothing out there that really gives you what you need functionality-wise, why don't you just do it yourself? And unfortunately, that was 2010, about the time that damn Social Network movie came out. It made it look so easy to do, to start a website. So we said, okay, let's do it. You know, several $100,000. A year and a half later, we went live, you know, May 2012. And it's hard to believe that it's been more than 2 years now. It's amazing how far we've come. We've now got more than 400,000 members of the site, and you know, an additional 500,000 plus members in our social media reach. So it's pretty exciting. I mean, we're a free community, so the growth has been pretty outstanding, and you know, hopefully we're just scratching the surface with what we can do. And as we get more brand recognition, we can really work to not only have investors use our site because it makes sense for guys like myself that want to research so many properties in a short period of time, but actually appeal to the everyday home buyers as well that just want to speed up the process and have that easy access.
Well, wonderful. While I was doing a research on you a little bit before for getting ready for the interview, and I saw that you predicted the future of real estate investing a few years ago, you know. So here is my question. What is the future of real estate investing in your point of view?
Yeah, I mean, and unfortunately, you are correct, and I appreciate you pointing that out. I did say everybody in 2011, 2012 that that was going to be the bottom, and then I projected it would come up, and we did a lot of investing based on inflation hedges because I thought we were going to see some form of rapid inflation hit the market, and we kind of have. To be honest with you, right now my outlook is not as exciting for the markets. I wish it was. I do think it's going to continue to go up 2015, 2016, but I'm a little bit concerned that at some point the interest rates have to go up. And I also know that part of what's propping the market up right now is there's a lack of inventory, obviously, which everybody talks about. So you've got a lot of new construction going on all over the place, especially in the key demographics that are feeling the lack of inventory. So I could see a situation where the interest rates go up and the inventory problem goes away at the same time. And then the third thing that's propping the market up right now was just that mental feeling in the markets that, hey, this was the bottom, we better take advantage of this. So obviously that third one would go away as well if the other two did. So if you have those three key factors going the wrong direction at the same time, which I think could happen around 2017, you could see a dip or at a minimum a stabilization or leveling of the markets. And I really think the only thing that could prevent that from happening, specifically when the interest rates go up is the key item there, would be if we saw rapid inflation, which, you know, hopefully we will. Actually, inflation is not always a bad thing. But it'll be interesting to see what happens between 2016 and 2018.
Thank you. There, you almost predicted the future of real estate investing again.
Well, we'll see. I don't know. I'd like to time it just right. We bought a bunch of stuff at the bottom. We're selling some of our stuff now. If we can sell everything in 2016 and then buy more when it crashes again, I'll be a pretty happy guy. So we'll see.
Yeah. Jim Rohn said, bigger the why, easier the how. Why learning the future of real estate investing is so important to achieve a greater success?
Yeah, well, you know, so to me, anything that you're going to do, anything you're going to invest in, you want to know it inside and out. And so it's kind of been neat for us. Really, I can take real estate to me is like breathing, because I mean, I love it. I always joke with people, you know, if I make more money, I just go buy more condos. You know, so I don't really care about it. You can see I'm wearing a T-shirt. I don't really buy the fanciest cars. I just buy condos, rental properties. That's what makes me happy. So I can more tailor that towards the tech industry. Because for me, the tech industry was the new frontier. And so a few years ago, getting into what we do now with driving traffic and social media and specifically LinkedIn and being able to really learn and open up my mind, I mean, it's just night and day. The knowledge I have now as opposed to 3.5 years ago is just, I didn't know what a wireframe was. I remember when we went in and to the web development team for Listed By, and they said, we need you to have a wireframe, and I'm looking at them like they're crazy. They told me what it was. You know, it was supposed to be 8 weeks of work. We did it in a week because I love the process of getting obsessed with something, figuring out what the end game is, and then executing whatever that task is. And so whether it's real estate, tech, or whatever your chosen field is. Having that hunger for knowledge, but more importantly, the drive to see it through, I think is what's most important.
Here is what I learned from that answer.
Sure.
Execution.
Yeah.
It's not about, oh, let me learn more, learn more. We all will be learning all the time for the rest of our life. We all need to be good student. However, execution, whatever you know, execute and see if it's working right, or adjust it to make it happen for you. Is that correct?
Yeah, I think you hit it on the head. And to bring it back to real estate, because I know I rambled a little bit off topic there. For example, you could have a great building. You could go buy a 40-unit building in a great location, have a great plan. But if you have a bad on-the-ground property manager, you could turn a 30% on paper cash-on-cash return into a negative 10% pretty quick. I mean, I've seen it happen, and then I've seen it the other way, to where we go and we could buy a bad set of properties, condos in Las Vegas in a horrible neighborhood, but if we have good execution, good on-the-ground management, and we really follow through with our plan, then we could turn a bad investment or a marginal investment into a great one. So yeah, execution, anybody can have an idea, but executing that idea and dealing with things that go wrong, because anybody can deal with it when it goes right, but it's how do you adjust to it when it doesn't work out and come back stronger that I think is the key in anything. So
seems like on listedby.com you have amazing things going on. So let me ask you a question. How do real estate investors typically get started with you with listedby.com on step-by-step basis?
Yeah, so for Listed By, it's pretty simple. I mean, it's a free website. So you go to Listed By, create your free user profile, automatically can search thousands of properties, most of which are off market. So you're going to see inventory there that you wouldn't see anywhere else. You can list your properties on the site, either as an agent or as an investor or an everyday homeowner. There's no fee for that. If you did want to feature your property on the home page, then you can do that. It's a nominal fee. I think it's $50, and you get in rotation to our hundreds of thousands of members that come to the site. And yeah, then you've got it set up. At that point, you can actually submit offers to the website, or if you're a seller, you can receive offers, and then you get those leads automatically coming to your inbox, to where you get those notifications, this person submitted the offer at this price, here's their contact info, and you can either utilize the site to counter, accept, or reject that offer, or you can reach out to the person from there and start your typical process as well.
When I go on this website, listedby.com, everything is free. It's like, what I learned is so far, there's nothing for free. So how do you make money on that one? Is it like it's good to be true?
Yeah, it's funny. I mean, we do make a little bit on the premium listings, but we make pretty much all of our money on corporate advertising. And so the website itself really is free right now. And honestly, people, I don't think, believe it. So I'm thinking about charging $5 or something, because I think people could comprehend that better than it being completely free. But yeah, right now, I mean, like I said, we've got an opt-in email database of about actually 450,000 members now. And then with our social media reach, we're right under 1 million total users. So it's a really, really targeted demographic for any real estate related advertiser. We've worked with Quicken Loans, Auction.com's long-term advertiser, Equity Build, and many, many other smaller companies as well. Well, Foreclosure.com being another big one that you would have heard of. And so what we do is we give our base of real estate investors and agents helpful tools and resources like a Quicken Loans or an Equity Build or an Auction.com that they need, so it's a benefit to them. And then at the same time, for our advertisers, we're putting them in front of an extremely targeted and active base that we know needs their services at the moment when they need it the most.
What if any one of our Real Estate Income magazine subscribers got started with you today with listedby.com? What would be their life look like in 30 days, 90 days, or a year from now?
Well, I can tell you as a user, it's it all depends, obviously. I mean, everybody's situation is different, but they're going to have a lot more ease. If you're a real estate agent, you're going to get a lot of really targeted exposure to your listings, and if you use the free options, completely no cost, so that's great. You're also going to potentially get new clients, and you're going to drive traffic to your own website as well. If you're a real estate investor, you're going to cut your time in half. I mean, for me, I would spend so much time on Redfin, Realtor.com just trying to track down the list agent's information because they want to play middleman and route it to their own agents that they're getting a referral fee from. With us, you've got that direct connectivity, so you can look at thousands of properties in the time it would take you to look at dozens of properties. And then if you're an advertiser, honestly, that's going to be obviously the biggest benefit, because what we've been able to do in the traffic generation sector has been out of this world. So I think at this point, we are by far and away the most targeted infrastructure for the real estate sector, specifically real estate investor sector, that's around. So any of your readers, listeners that would fit into that category as a real estate related service provider would probably get the most value from working with us.
Great. That really makes it easy for real estate investors. In fact, especially when it's a free, everybody loves the free part. Free is the most
Yeah.
powerful word, when
It's
it
kind
comes
of
from
the
online.
Google and Facebook model. So,
Yeah.
we give someone something that they need, and we don't charge anything for it, and then it streamlines from there.
What are the specific roadblocks that typically prevent your members from start with you?
I don't know if there is a rule. I mean, since it is free and since it just takes a few minutes to set it up, I don't know if there's any roadblock there. I think it might just be information. So things like this is really helpful in talking about how to use the site. It's pretty turnkey. We tried to make it as efficient and effective as possible, but getting that first listing, we're here to help. So if there's any questions, if anyone has about setting up the account or adding your listing or searching the properties, we're extremely responsive to that. But really, it's just all about diving in and seeing all the fun that can happen from there.
So, folks, you can see that. Looks like Stephen does not even know that if there's any roadblock, he makes so easy. He thinks everybody should be no-brainer to use this listedby.com. Is that correct?
Yeah, if there is a roadblock, let me know what it is, and we'll get rid of it. So.
Okay, wonderful. That's good. What are the specific strategies to use a listedby.com? They are like keys to unlock a roadblock, doors to achieve a wild success.
I mean, again, it depends on what your goals are and what sector you're coming from. So, I mean, I think that it's really just utilizing it just the way that you would with LinkedIn or Facebook. It's about utilizing it for whatever your benefits that you need are. So if you're an agent, again, if you're looking for clients, use the social network aspect. Search members of the site, engage, send messages back and forth, import your contacts to join you on the site. If you're a real estate investor, get in there, dig through the properties, search the auction sector. I just did a promo last week, or I suppose it's been about a week and a half now, where I auctioned off one of my condos that I own personally that's worth at least $200,000, and we did a $100 no reserve auction. I think the bidding's up to about 120 right now, so I'm hoping it gets up a little higher. But we do stuff like that sometimes just to drive excitement and traffic. And so if you're there, you're going to be privy to that. And honestly, be on the email list, because being on the email list is where you're going to see everything that we've got going on from ourselves and all of our partners, and you're going to get the most action and activity there as well. And then really, again, a big piece of the puzzle has been the LinkedIn groups. So we invite all of our users to engage on social media. And again, that would be the real estate networking group there, real estate investor group, and then the Listed by LinkedIn group, and then several other groups as well. So there's a lot of different ways to connect and engage.
So, folks, that's a really big invitation from Stephan to actually engage with these guys. If LinkedIn has how many, 200, 300 million, by the time you are watching it, there may be 100 million more, you never know. And these guys, I know his partners, Kent Littlejohn, and probably a few other partners which I may not be aware of him. Is that correct? So
I don't know. I got partners in my sleep here. So yeah, me and Kent actually date each other too, not in a romantic way, but just as best friends.
Oh, wonderful! That's good. So they almost own the real estate market on LinkedIn. That's a huge. There's no one else. If you are really looking for a joint venture partners on a much bigger scale, and just get in touch with listedby.com. That should be the step you will be taking, and you will be thanking for us forever.
Yeah.
So what would be the first physical action step you want someone to take to get started with listedby.com?
Just like I said, go to the site, create your free user profile, and then go from there with a lot of the steps we've talked about today.
Cool. What question did you want me to ask, but I did not get around to it?
Well, no, I think it was a great interview. I'm happy with it. If you want to talk more about some of the LinkedIn stuff, that's great too. But if not, then that's fine. I'm happy with all the ground we've covered.
Here's my most favorite question. Where you have faced challenges while building listedby.com and how you went around to it?
Oh, gosh. Well, I don't know if we've got enough time for that. Well, let's see. I mean, for me, again, being a real estate guy my whole life, the tech industry has definitely been a new journey, and so initially you think it's as simple, well, I'll just pay 50 grand, we'll have somebody build our website, and that's that. We'll never have any more cost again. You don't realize how much intricity goes into developing a top-tier website. And so initially, the web development aspect, like I said, it took us 18 months just to get live as a website. So it's funny when I look back now that we've been live for more than 2 years. It's like two life forms. There was that extremely long period of time where you're getting to that point, and then it's tailoring the expectations and learning to reevaluate successes as you go. And then, so the first level would be the web development, which we finally overcame, and thankfully so. One that's probably a little more relevant and has a happy ending would be initially driving traffic. Because I spent hundreds of thousands of dollars the first 6 months just really trying to find out, hey, how do we drive massive traffic? We did radio, print, TV, pay-per-click, a lot of money spent with Google, Facebook, so on and so forth. And ultimately found nothing worked better for us than full content-based email marketing. And so we really put all of our resources in building out our opt-in email list. And when I bought the largest real estate group on LinkedIn, that became a resource that has really taken our traffic to another level, to where now we're in a position where we don't spend any money on advertising, and we're able to use the tools and the tactics that we've learned to be able to make our base happy and provide informational content that keeps them coming to the site for our other partners as well. So that's something that's really transformed our business and our business model, to where we took a negative into a positive. We said, hey, how do we do this for us? And once we were able to do it for ourselves, we realized we had an amazing asset that could help other people as well.
Great. So how many hours you work every day? As a real estate investor, somebody probably spending 18 hours a day and someone spending 10 hours a day. They just want to know, you build a large, like a quote-unquote lifestyle, but I don't know what the lifestyle mean. Everybody has their own definition of a lifestyle. So
well, I
how
can
many
tell
hours
you, today's my
on?
son's birthday, and I managed to work in a few hours here at the office. So I spent most of the day with him. I don't want to sound like an idiot, and it was a great day. We had a lot of fun. But yeah, no, I'm definitely doing a lot of those 80-hour work weeks without question. And,
wonderful. So that is that your passion then? You love what you do?
No, I really do, and that's what I was going to say, is it's really not work, because I honestly really love this stuff, and me and Kent talk about it a lot, how addicted we are to traffic, watching the numbers come through. I've always loved real estate, still do. I love searching properties. I love submitting the things that people see as work. I see as that's a fun way to spend the afternoon. I'm going to go and I'm going to search through thousands of properties. I'm going to submit hundreds of offers and see what sticks. And then it's the same thing with the traffic. Now, when I sit on Google Analytics and I can watch the real-time traffic coming into the site, I see people engaging, using the site, finding deals. That just makes me happier than pretty much anything except my son. So, so that for me, it's not really work. It's an exciting. There's something new every day, and there's always. I mean, from the real estate side, I mean, I've had everything to finding dead bodies in our houses, which was sad, obviously, to buying a house for, like I said, $600 and selling it for 12 times what I pay for it 3 days later. So you get the lows and the highs. And then on the tech side, it's been the same thing, to where whether it's developing a landing page or it's engaging with how to import contact functionality on the listed by site, there's always something new to learn and to enjoy.
Great, that's a great information. As an average real estate investor who has not done so much vast experience what you have, what would be the one piece of like a wisdom you will share with them? One thing they should be doing it and one thing they should not be doing it. That's like a lesson learned you are sharing with them.
Gosh, yeah. Well, one thing they should be doing, I would say, is they should be in a sector that they've researched fully, and they should not pull the trigger on buying a property until they know exactly why they're doing it, I suppose. Never buy a property, and that kind of leads me to what you shouldn't do. Never buy a property because someone else says it's a good deal. You should understand fully for yourself why it's a good deal, and you should make sure that it tailors to what your specific strategy is, because there's dozens, maybe hundreds of ways to make a lot of money or to lose a lot of money in real estate. And everybody's situation is different. For me personally, I had the times where we did the Detroit flips, and that's obviously as fast flip as you can get. And now I don't do that at all, and I buy owner-financed income-producing properties, and it's a leverage play, and it's all about a high cash-on-cash return. So for me, that makes sense because I don't need the high intensity of the flip. I just want long-term cash flow and stabilization for an inflation hedge. But for other people, that's not going to make sense. So you need to, learn the fundamentals, what a cap rate is, how to calculate your cash-on-cash return, learn the fundamentals, and then go from there to find out what do you really need in your life, short-term and long-term, and then execute from there.
Thank you so much. Here's my last question. The very easy one. What would you say as a final word? Who would like to join on listbuy.com?
Oh, we would love to have you join Listed Buy. We're an ever-growing membership base. We have some pretty exciting properties that come on the site on a regular basis, and there's a lot of the top industry people there, industry experts, professionals from all around the country. So we'd love to have you be a part of it.
Thank you so much, Stephan Piscano, for sharing your wisdom with us today. On the behalf of Real Estate Income Magazine, myself, and Shiv Ganesh, Editor-in-Chief, we really appreciate you. This is Mohammed Sadiq. Wish you a good luck, good sales. I do hope our path across again our next hangout at Real Estate Income Magazine. All good wishes. Bye-bye.
Thanks, Mohammed. I really appreciate it.